Hi, Journalism 101 students. This is Professor Tracy Savage. Happy midterm week. May the odds be forever in your favor. You're going to be taking the midterm this week. But before that, you're going to be producing a video news story, a broadcast news story. And I'm going to be going through the steps in this lecture on how to do that. You're going to have plenty of time to get this done. I want to get you started now, get you an early start on it so that you can get working on it. You're going to be producing a TV news package. It's called a package. It's a complete story, a self-contained TV news story that you will shoot, write, voice the narration, and edit it all together. It's going to be a complete news package. So you are assigned to read all of the instructions before you begin. Follow the instructions carefully. If you do it step by step, it's really not hard to do it all, and you may find it fun and creative. There are additional resources posted, including examples of TV news packages and a sample script, how you would structure a script, and how to edit in iMovie with links to tutorials. So everything you're going to need to do this assignment is in this particular module with examples. And then I'm going to go through the instructions now. It shouldn't take you that long. I used to produce 3 broadcast news stories in a day. Sometimes I'd produce one in 10 minutes. Shoot it, write it, edit it, voice it, track it, put it together, get it on the air. It's called crashing a story, and we would slam them together. But I want to give you time to work on this and so that you can do it right. So today, journalists have to do much more than just write stories. They have to be able to shoot pictures, video, and photos, and produce broadcast pieces for TV and the web. Your final project will be either an MP4 or a .mov file. That's your completed project, what you output it as. That file can be loaded directly to Canvas if you want. So you can upload a .mov or a .mp4 file directly to the Canvas Dropbox. Or you can upload your story to YouTube and then put the YouTube link directly into Canvas or on a Word file or a PDF file and upload that file. So instructions give you a step-by-step guide, and it begins with picking a topic to cover. So number 1 says select and then research a news topic to cover. Select something that is visual with people and general activity. Usually that's better. It makes for a more interesting story. Avoid covering meetings unless there's a topic from the meeting that you could turn into a story. But good ideas for stories include like a protest rally, some kind of campus event, an animal adoption, farmer's market, something that's visual. But whatever your topic, try to give it a news angle. Ask, why does this matter? Who does this affect? Why should we know about this? What kind of information are you providing that's helpful for your viewers? And then you're going to want to set up interviews. So you need at least one on-camera interview for your story. Select a source who's knowledgeable about the topic, and select sources who can add information and or emotion to your story and give their opinions. Select sources who speak in complete sentences. You definitely want people who are comfortable and can speak clearly and are somewhat animated. They make for the best sound bites. So then you want to shoot your interviews. So as far as audio is concerned, if you have an external microphone that's plugged into your camera, hold that mic about 6 to 12 inches from the source. You need it close, right up under their chin. If you're using the mic on the camera, make sure the camera is close to the source and make sure you're recording it in a very quiet place. If any ambient sound is going to get picked up, and it will negatively impact the audio. So you want to hold the camera, maybe, a foot to 18 inches away from their face. Pretty close. And make sure there's no background noise. Find a quiet location. But also, as far as video is concerned, you want to find a well-lit location where the source is evenly lit. Big shadows across their face just won't look good. And find a location with an interesting background. Do not put them up against a blank white wall or something that's just too busy or distracting. Or don't shoot them in front of a window or a white, bright wall or window. It just is not going to work. A bookcase, pull them about 5 feet away and have them sit down with a bookcase behind them. That's interesting. If you're outside, do it with bushes or trees or any kind of greenery behind them. That makes for an interesting background as well. But you don't want a blank wall or anything too bright or too distracting. Like if there's a lot of people moving around in the background, that's not going to work. So after you do your interview, you need to shoot B-roll clips that will help you tell the story. B-roll is the video clips that basically go in your story. And for a 1:30 story, that's how long your story is going to be, about 1:30, so 90 seconds, you're going to need at least 15 to 20 different B-roll shots. More options would be better, but at least 15 to 20. And for each clip, record the scene for about 10 seconds before you stop. You're not going to use all 10 seconds of every clip. In fact, when you edit your story, each shot shouldn't last more than 5 or 6 seconds. But it's good to have options, and it's good to have a little, a few extra seconds on the end of each shot just in case. But when you're shooting this now, your B-roll, shoot a variety of angles and frame sizes. Shoot wide, shoot medium, and shoot tight shots. Don't shoot pans or tilts or zooms. Don't move the camera around, zooming in and out. Just steady shots that don't move. Let the action in front of the camera move, but the camera really needs to stay still. It just looks so unprofessional if your movement in the camera is bouncy, if it's jerky, it just looks amateur. So you really generally want to keep the camera steady, shooting wide shots, lots of medium shots, and tight shots are the most interesting. Close-ups of people's faces. If someone's working on a cash register or at the computer, tight shots of their hands. Unless you're following action, like someone on a skateboard, or maybe you're covering sports, then you might want to follow them with the camera. But otherwise, really, the camera needs to be rock solid, steady. Use a tripod or use something to prop the camera up so that it's not shaky. And when you're doing your interview too, try to keep it as steady as can be. And when you're shooting your interview, you want to crop it right across the chest at the bottom and just about an inch or two above the head. So it's a pretty tight shot. You don't want it from waist up. You want it from about chest up, like where they're like if they're wearing a t-shirt with a pocket in or a tie, like right in the middle of their tie and on up is where you want to crop it. So next you want to prepare to write your story. So before you write anything, you want to log all of your video clips. So to log means to watch the clips and take notes. So you're going to want to log the B-roll and write down what B-roll shots you have and the ones that work. Note what shots that don't work. Note the close-up shots and the wide shots. You write this down, and this is going to help you later on when you're editing. So for example, your B-roll log might look like clip number 1, tight shot of speaker at podium. Clip number 2, wide shot of crowd listening. Clip number 3, tight shot of person listening in crowd. And the more detail you put in your log, just the easier it is for you when it comes to edit because you can find the shots that you need. And then you want to log your interviews that you made. That's basically transcribing word for word what your interview subject said. Write down what the source is, including what they say, including the time on the clip. And this will help you so that when you go to write your story, you know exactly what your sources are saying and you can write to your sound bites. So now it's time, number 6, is to write your story. So review an example of a script structure. It's titled Broadcast Journalism Script Example. It's posted in Canvas in this module, and make sure you read that. And take a look at it. In broadcast, we use a 2-column structure, left column, right column, with all of the audio on the right side, and everything that you're going to hear is written on the right side, and everything that you're going to see is on the left side. And so when you write your story, you're going to weave the sound bites throughout the story. Sound bites are the quotes in are equivalent to quotes in print stories. So first come up with a strong lead. Broadcast leads tend to be less formal, more catchy than print leads. Broadcast leads don't have to include any facts at all, but just tell the gist of the story. The idea with a broadcast lead is to capture people's attention and get them to want to listen further. Once you have a strong lead, write the rest of the story, weaving in the facts and the sound bites. Remember, in the pyramid structure, inverted pyramid style, in print, you put all of the main who, what, where, when, why, and how in the lead. In broadcast, we don't. We sprinkle the facts throughout the story. And then your last line of your script should include, for the Roundup News, I'm, and say your name, Tracy Savage, reporting. And so you're going to write the story, sprinkling the facts throughout it, and then write transitions to your sound bites, and then include your sound bites. So then you need to record your voiceover, the VO track, because you're going to be recording the narration, all the parts, everything that's not a soundbite, it's going to be in your voice. So the VO track is the part of the story where the reporter's voice, your voice, is heard, narrating the information in the story. Read your script into the same camera that you recorded your interviews and your B-roll. You're only going to be using the audio portion of this, and you're going to cover that voiceover track with B-roll video clips that you shot earlier. For each line of track, begin the recording by slating the track number, because you'll number every line of track that you have written, and give a countdown before you begin to narrate the script. So for example, track number 1, and you might want to say take 1, 3, 2, 1, and then you start reading what you wrote. And then track number 2, 3, 2, 1. And if you make a mistake, you could say track number 2, take 2, 3, 2, 1. This all will make it so much easier when it's time to edit your story. All right, so now it's time to edit your story. You've done your interviews, you've shot your B-roll, you've logged the tape, and you've seen what you've got, and then you've written your story about 1:30, and you can time it before you start to edit it, after you've written it, to see how long it's going to be. Time how long the sound bites are. The sound bites shouldn't be longer than 15 seconds, 15 to 20 seconds max. I don't want a longer sound bite than that. So figure out how long the sound bites are, and then time how long the tracks are, your voiceover tracks. And if it's too long, cut some material out. So you're going to be editing with iMovie. So if you've never edited anything before and you've never used iMovie, don't worry. It's really not that hard. There is a tutorial, iMovie tutorial, that's posted in Canvas. Open up iMovie or similar video editing software. If you're used to using Premiere Pro or some other type of software, you're welcome to use that. But open up iMovie. Now, if you own a Mac computer, iMovie is standard. Also, the Mac computers in the classroom in Village 8300 on the campus of Pierce College, there are computers there that have iMovie installed on them. And you can use these computers during the open lab hours or during regular class sessions when I'm in there with the permission of me or the other instructors. So the lab hours are posted on the door of the lab, but you can always email me and ask me, and I'll let you know if you need to go use the computers on the campus of Pierce College. Remember, though, to bring an external hard drive with you, because if you don't finish your story, you're going to need to save everything on your hard drive. These computers erase all the data once you log off. So you upload or import all of your media, which would be all of your B-roll clips, your interview clips, and your voiceover track clips into iMovie. So it's import media, and you'll import that into iMovie. And then you're going to edit first. You're going to lay down the A-roll. That's all the audio and the sound bites. So you'd lay down your opening track, track number 1. Maybe then you go to a sound bite, you'd lay that down, and then track number 2, and then track number 3, and then maybe a sound bite number 2, and then track number 4, and then your final track, something like that. So you're going to lay all that down first, and then you will add B-roll on top of it. So wherever your audio track is, you're going to need to add pictures that you had shot earlier. That's the B-roll, and that's where you would edit that next. So if you watch the tutorial, it will help you on how to put this together. Usually the students don't have any problem. They just follow the tutorial and they jump right into it, and it's really not hard to do. So start working on this early. So I'm always here for you to help. If you have any problems, just reach out. All right, so this week you're taking the midterm, and remember, you can use your one-page study guide with notes on front and back of the paper to help you. Once you begin your midterm, you have 2 hours to complete the midterm, and you must complete this midterm by the end of this week, which of course ends Sunday at 11:59 p.m.